Hey folks, Barry here, Blasters in the Desert. I got a cool new thing in the mail yesterday. I feel like I've been waiting for this thing for I don't know, ever. That's not gonna, don't take that as a knock on this, because this kind of thing takes time, research and development, testing. I get it. But I'm glad that this is finally out. I've been waiting for it, and I've been telling myself for some time that basically as soon as it was out, I was gonna be an early adopter, if you will. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about this guy. This is the Law Tactical ARIC, or AR internal carrier. The AR, of course, is for assault rifle. What this is, for people who are not aware, who haven't followed Law Tactical, or don't just haven't been caught up on what this is, because, like I said, it's been in development for a while. People probably saw some teasers, some posts kind of talking about it over the last few years even. But it's finally out. They've finally got it up for sale on their website. I think I ordered mine last week, and last I checked they were sold out, which is a good sign, right? People are buying them. But that's where they are. So what does this do? Working in conjunction with the Law Tactical folding stock adapter, the FSA, what this does is it allows your AR platform firearm, whether it's a pistol or a rifle, to fire while that stock is in the folded position. Of course, with ARs, of course, you've got a big, extension tube, you've got a spring in there, you've got a buffer, all that has to, the bolt carrier has to move backwards into there in order to cycle the weapon. So shooting it folded on a standard AR is just not a thing that happens. Now, if you get into AR types like the MCX or the Brownell's, BRN 180, whatever, slightly different design. This is designed to work in any standard AR. So I'm gonna kind of walk through how this works, install it, and then in just a little while we'll go out and shoot it for a bit. So the first thing that you want to do once you got yours is read through the manual, because there is some really important stuff in here. There are links, QR code for some videos here that you can go and watch for pretty much everything: how to remove it, install it, clean and lubricate, disassembly, maintenance, and inspection, etc., etc. Little parts diagram for the most part. While just doing an install of this thing, we do not need to disassemble it. That's just not necessary. It's come from the factory already built up, ready to go. But it does have a little bit of some of the fine-tuning instructions, how to make sure that you get it installed correctly so that it will work as designed. I imagine it'll work even if you install it a little bit wrong, but who knows, you might break it. So this is it. Kind of a big guy here. It's a little bit longer than your standard AR bolt carrier group, and we'll talk about why in just a little bit. On the website, it shows the ARIC, just really how it's, losing my instructions here, how it's shown here on the packaging, which is, this is your little retaining cup, your springs, and the carrier here. What you might notice on this is that there's no actual bolt in here. So my plan initially had been, okay, that's fine. I've got a couple of Sons of Liberty bolts, one that I'm going to be taking out of this gun anyway, so I'll just put the bolt into this carrier. But lo and behold, when it arrived, it's got a bolt in it. So the bolt itself, pretty standard mil-spec style bolt. So like I said, you should be able to put a different bolt in it if you want to, but this one's already got it, so cool, I'm gonna rock it. The design of it, of course, is a dual captured spring here, and that essentially work as guide rods. And if you can see on the side here, the carrier itself is cut out, so it's got these little channels cut into the side there, and that's where the guide rods are going to run. That's on both sides there. So if you look at something like, I think it's the Evolve Weapons versions, their product similar to this that they had been working on that apparently like 5 people in the world have actually gotten. Theirs is all internal, and so this is all still sealed up. They also have a dual captured spring style, but then they have another great big spring on the back here that rides on their cap you have to get. So this one, just the dual captured spring, it's got the guide rod cutouts, your gas key, cam pin, everything all in there. The gas key is a little bit different, so you can see it's the screws on there are just these two little screws in a different configuration, if you will. A little bit of staking on there. I don't know if you can see right in the middle there, but it doesn't want to focus. It wants to focus on me because I'm pretty. So that your firing pin, of course, just retaining pin on the side there. And then the cap here on the back. And so what this has got is this cap actually just comes right off, and you can see that these springs are captured in the back there with a little plate. For disassembly, you can take that apart. I'm not going to, because like I said, for just installation, you don't need to. I imagine maybe after, 10,000 cycles or whatever, maybe those springs start to weaken up a little bit, and so you want to replace them. Hopefully replacement parts will be available by the time people start getting up to those high round counts. Right now, I don't know, maybe. So the cup, again, it's open on the bottom there, and that little retainer just slides right inside. So let's take this gun apart. I am going to be putting this on my Grey Ghost Precision BCM, SLR, Sons of Liberty, etc., gun, because this is the one that has my Law Tactical folder installed. I used to have it on a different gun. I put it over here because this is a little bit shorter, and I wanted to have a nice, compact little package here. So let's go ahead, break it open, and show you guys how to do the install, and get ready to go. Let's go. Okay, so here we've got our Law Tactical ARIC internal carrier. Installation on this is actually pretty simple. Essentially all you need is your firearm here with your Law Tactical folding stock adapter here. The only tool you really need is going to be a 3/32 Allen wrench. And you may not even need that. Basically, this is going to just be for adjusting tension to make sure that this retainer cup is held in place correctly. So, first thing that we're going to do is disassemble this upper. So, we're going to take this pin out, of course. So, if you guys have worked with these Law folders before, you know that disassembly can be a little bit tricky if you're new. So take that out, and of course it doesn't move because, of course, there's the extension on the rear of the bolt carrier here. So in order to take that out, we're just going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and push that button in there, pull this out, That comes off. Push this back in there to make sure that it's in. Close that all the way up. Now our upper will open standard AR style. So remove our old bolt carrier. Take out my charging handle. So one thing that they do recommend you do during this install is to clean out your chamber here real good. I wiped mine down quite a bit here. It's not perfect, but you guys know me, I don't clean a whole lot. But I did want to do that just because this is new and I want to kind of give it as fresh a start as possible. I didn't get out the chamber brush and clean everything spick and span. You can see it's still a little dirty here, but that's okay. So what you want to do is remove this little retaining cup. So this is going to go in the rear of the carrier, rear of your upper here, and you want to have this little piece here with the little lip or whatever you want to call it pointing up. This is going to slide into the upper right here. So you want to push down on the button, and of course with the Law that actually depresses the little locking mechanism on the back there, and you want this to be able to go in, slide in. So see, for me this is not going in all the way, and so what that means is that I need to loosen up this set screw a little bit. So we're going to do this. We're going to open that up a bit. Of course, we don't want it to be too loose, but we do want it to be moving freely inside here. So looks like I need to do a little bit more here. Zoop. Oh, I guess this was super crazy tight. Looks like I got some Loctite on there or something. Okay, well, that went in, but see, what you don't want is like exactly what's happening here, which is well, okay. Okay. Whoop. Press that. I don't think that's sliding as I don't know what that's hanging up on, but we're gonna move ahead with it anyway. And so that does need to move around a little bit, so what I'll do is I'm gonna put a little bit of my old slip on here, just a couple little drops of this. I don't know, we'll see, maybe that'll help it move around a bit. Okay. So again, you do want this to be able to move. It's going to be under tension from the from the carrier itself to push it out, and then when you close the folder, it's of course going to put some pressure, some forward pressure on it. So this may not be as big a deal as I think. I hope. So then what we're going to do is take our carrier. I'm going to put this back on here. Actually, per the instructions, we're going to lubricate this. And so we do want to hit all our standard, little AR lubrication spots. Pick the lube of your choice. I don't care what it is. This is some old Slip 2000. Put a little bit on the tops here. On the top there. A little bit down in our cam pin channel. Let's see, a little bit right down in there. Let's put a little on the top of this too. So, okay. Put that aside. So, like I said, the next thing we're going to do, reinstall the retainer here. We're going to get our charging handle. And we're going to install this just like any other bolt carrier. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put some lubrication here along the guide rod and the spring. Don't need a lot on this because that's going to be moving around. That will help it spread around as it goes anyway. And let's put a couple little dabs down here towards the bottom of it too. So we'll capture that as it moves. Okay. So what you want to make sure is that you have this little piece, flange or whatever, sticking up, because that's going to ride inside your charging handle there. Just like any other AR bolt carrier, you're going to make sure that bolt is extended for install. It's going to go in just like that. We're going to push this in so that it captures inside there. So this is going to be the tricky part, which is we got to hold this in place while we do this install, because this is under tension. You don't want it to come shooting out. So in theory, that's all there is to it. So now you can see the retainer plug is on the back there. Next thing that we of course have to do is remove our buffer and spring from the stock here, from the receiver extension. Again, this is under pressure, so you want to be careful with that. Let's see if I can get that to go down so I can take it out. There we go. Oops, it came back up. There we go. Buffer, retainer, detents are the worst. Oh, come on, spring. Oh, boy, the spring's dirty. All right. Let's see, can I get it? There we go. So, spring. Do I have a... let me grab one of my old paper towels here. All right. Because that got me dirty. That's where all the filth is, in the back end there. So, as this closes up, just like that, let's test this. Test that. And that does seem to be going. Let's put this folded. So when it's folded, of course, there you can see that this little guy here is sticking out. This is the retainer for the spring, and that seems to be working. Now, one thing that I do want to note that I should have mentioned earlier, just when I was talking about the the ARIC itself is there are two different versions of this available. There is the C model and the M model. This is the M model, as you can see the notation right there. Now the difference as far as like the manufacturing or the engineering, I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know that the M model is designed to work in conjunction with suppressors. So if you've got a suppressed AR that you're wanting to put this on, the M is the one that you want. The C model, I guess, just doesn't work as well. It's not rated for it. There's a whole description on the website of exactly what each of these is really designed for. So that's the install of the ARIC. You know what? I'm going to tighten this back down just a little bit because I don't want that sticking out, but I'm just going to go about to the point where it gets a little resistance there. So that's that. So that's the install of the Law Tactical AR internal carrier. And that's it for now. Time to get out and shoot it. Let's go. All right, out here with the Law ARIC. Gonna try it out, see how it goes. Only brought a couple hundred rounds here, so I'm not gonna shoot a whole ton, but should get a good feel for it. It's cranked up. All right, let's see how it goes. We're gonna start with it fully extended here. So let's see. Okay, well, right away that didn't seat. Not feed that round. Let's see. Let's lock that open for a second here. Let's see. Magazine is still full. So let's see if it works a little better. Oh, that's interesting. All right, well, maybe that's a magazine issue. Let's try this one. Huh. Well, it appears that the bottom of the carrier is not quite sure what's going on here. Well, let's try it with it folded. Yeah, see, that is not, you see that's not closing quite all the way. It did, actually, it did strip the round off of there. Now it's chambered. Let's see. So it ejected fine. So let's lock this back again. There. Okay. Locked open. And as you can see, it is not chambering that all the way, and I am not able to push it closed. The forward assist is not grabbing it. There is a round in the chamber. It is not going far enough forward to capture it, so we'll let's just take this off. Let's just try shooting that one that's in there, huh? Maybe we'll hold it off to the side just in case. Take me off. Okay. Well, fired. I wonder if maybe we can get it. Yeah, so you can see it's not chambering all the way. Let's see. If I then pull it back and let it go, it does. So let's try that with the magazine in it. I did have to chamber that round pretty much manually, but we'll see if it'll feed. Didn't sound like it fed, but it did. So right off the bat, I'll tell you the recoil impulse on it is very different, obviously, just from the fact that the entire mass of the bolt carrier isn't moving back into the receiver extension there. You feel it really just a lot more in the grip, which I guess makes sense because that's where all the good stuff is happening there. So. I'm sure you can hear it. It actually sounds quite different as well. Yeah, interesting. So let's try it with the stock extended. Okay, well, it went through the whole mag, which is interesting, and it did lock open, so that's good. Let's move around a little bit, get some different angles. What do you say? All right, so let's. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dab a little bit of lube in this real quick, a little bit in the chamber there. Maybe that's where it's getting hung up. So, 1 second. All right, so got a little bit more juice in there. Let's see if we can get it to go properly now. So let's see, is it going to close all the way? Hey, look at that, it went. So let's see if it's going to keep going. Interesting. It did not. And that time it locked up right there. So let's see what's going on with this now. Interesting. A dead trigger there. Okay. Magazine out. We'll see. It did load a round, but it didn't shoot it. So, what's going on here? Well, see, that time it went just fine. Okay. Let's put that stock back, see how it goes now. It's interesting. So it's going. It seems like it has trouble getting started, but once it's going, like, it's fine. Let's go back to folded here. Okay. So it's going. Locked back on the empty there. I got a couple more here. Let's try this with a Lancer mag. Why not, right? Oh. That didn't even attempt to chamber. Okay. It's kind of not surprising though, these Lancer mags, in particular of their feed ramps and such. Well, I don't know if you guys saw that. It sort of worked its way loose there. Let's see. It is in the chamber. Fold that up again. Yeah, I guess I hope you guys can see me here. Another dead trigger there. Okay. You know, and this may be yeah, see, that trigger didn't even hit that one. So who knows what the deal is. So that time it chambered okay. Let's see how it goes. Shot all of that. Oh, well, I don't know if you can tell, my suppressor wrap here is on fire. Melting pretty good there. That's okay, I'm not testing that thing today, so. Alright, I got one more mag here. Let's keep it going. Hopefully. See, that time it chambered okay. My red dot battery's getting a little low. I crank that sucker up. Well, okay. This, oh, that fired. That shot the thing straight through. I think that suppressor wrap is toast. But, like I said, that's not what I'm out here working with. So I'm going to put some gloves on, though, before because I did just notice something pretty interesting. 1 second here. Okay. I got to get this suppressor wrap off. It is smoking up a storm. Quite frankly, it stinks. Whoa. Well, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. That was fun while it lasted. Oof. Fuss. So, suppressor wrapped down, and fortunately it left a whole bunch of gross stuff caked all over my suppressor, but again, it's not what I'm out here to talk about today. So, one thing that I did notice here that I wanted to point out on with the ARIC is, I'm going to fold this up so that you can see it over on the other side, is, I don't know how well that's coming up right there, but like all of the lubrication, powder, everything burning up is leaking out right there. So pretty much every dirty little bit coming out of the gun is coming out right there. I did also notice that this was not a super high round count string of fire or anything like that, but I did notice it, you know, in here feeling a lot warmer than I think I normally would expect to have with just from a string of fire like that. I'm gonna raise this up a tad. I'm a little taller than this thing is short, so how do I do this? I got myself a new tripod last week. I hope you're enjoying it. Okay, now I'm all crooked. Whatever. Yeah, there we go. So, again, I can see all of it, you know, coming out the back here. Primarily, I'm noticing it a lot on this side. So, I want to open this up real quick. See how it actually looks. Everything in the back end here looks okay. The carrier itself looks okay. I'm gonna open this up, so I need to push this pin out. Yeah, it's spitting all kinds of stuff out of here. And I don't know. See, I think that the problem I'm having here, give me a minute, I'm gonna load up a couple more mags here real quick. Can I not pause this? Okay. I got melted whatever all over my finger here. Okay. I'm gonna try something different here real quick. The plug on the back there is sticking out pretty good, so I just went ahead and I reset it. Let's see. When that happens, I think the problem is going to be that it doesn't cycle back far, come back far enough to cycle. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I have a feeling there's no round in the chamber here, and there's not. So close that. Let me open this back up. See, it should be open like that. Finicky. So, as of right now, I think this is going to need a little bit of fine tuning for me. just to see if I can get it to where it's being a little more consistent. Obviously, this is something that I want to work because I think it's cool and it keeps this whole gun in a nice little package that I can shoot that way. So gonna try to figure out, see what we can do. This is shooting suppressed, so it's getting pretty dry and dirty in there, but this is the M model and it's supposed to be working okay with that. So I guess we'll see. That's it for now. Probably shoot a little bit more with it, see, leave any updates if I have any, but for right now, it's cool, and I think what I need to do is just fiddle around with it a little bit more and get it working properly. So that's it for now.